Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, hopefully you're doing well. The beeping has finally stopped on this job, thank God. We're back on the renovation if you couldn't already tell. I've not been here for a few days, but I need to be here today because my boiler and cylinder and everything's being delivered. There's some BT guys on site as well, so somebody needs to be here. So that's why I'm here today. I've been, what have I been doing? Been busy in schools really, because it's been half term in my area. I've just been piling on there. I've had a few absolutely ridiculous jobs. I mean, I'm not getting on at anybody, but we had to do some Legionella remedials, and one of the jobs I went to yesterday was a 22 cold feed into an unvented cylinder. It got a press fit T, press fit reducer and a drain off. Absolutely perfect in my opinion. And they've picked it up on the Legionella because they've even pulled the lagging off to say that the dead leg is too great, because obviously you've got the press fit reducer and then a drain off. So I had to drain the whole cylinder down and put a 22-15 T in just to please the Legionella. They've picked quite a few of them up. I've no idea why they start to pick them up, because it's something we all do is bring. Sometimes that one wasn't even very bad, but we always bring I've bent them around the front of the cylinder before and put the drain off on. But anyway, jobs like that frustrate me because there's absolutely no need to do them in my opinion, but mine's not the reason why. So yeah, we are back on the renovation today. My delivery's supposed to be coming in about half an hour, so I'm just going around, just popping radiators on and changing all the TRVs and stuff. So I'm just getting these second fixed. This room's being split into three. If you look back on my previous videos, you'll sort of see. So I've just got these three to second fix, and then all my bathroom stuff's coming today as well, so we can look at getting the baths and stuff like that in. But yeah, we'll see what turns up. I'm not sure if the boiler's on the delivery or not yet, but we'll wait and see what turns up. The cylinder and all the bathroom stuff definitely is, but the boiler might not be. So what we might do today is get the radiators done, get all the valves done, get the baths in. We'll see what time we get really and see what time stuff turns up. But yeah, we'll try and get some footage and hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Right, my stuff hasn't turned up yet. I've just given them a chase, and I think what's happening is they're waiting for the boiler to come in, which is fair enough. I don't expect him to make 2 visits. So I've just put this floor back down in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swing my hot and cold around. We know it's a P-shaped bath, so it's going to be wider than 700. We've got to put a blender under here somewhere. So obviously we need to make this as easy to get to as possible for servicing and stuff. And also what we need to do is, before the blender, we need 2 tails off to feed this thermostatic shower that's going on the wall. We don't need to that doesn't need to be on the blended supply because it's got a thermostat inside the showers, but the bath taps haven't. So that potentially you could have, well, you will have 60 degrees water coming out the hot side without a blender, so we need to reduce that to 41. So what I'm going to do is just swing them pipes round, set all that blender up. It's obviously ideal if you've got the bath, because you can see exactly where it's going to go. But I've done enough of them to know it needs to be here, nice and easy to get to, so we can still get that down that side to get to the taps and stuff. And then I'm not going to chop them in until we've got the bath here, because I want to get them dead centre, and I want the pipes to drop straight in line with in the middle. I don't want to offset them at the top, because when you come to put your fast fix kit on, you can end up hitting your pipes. I like them to drop dead down the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just literally going to swing that around and get my blender set up. What I'm going to do is just space my clips up under the back. It just makes it a little bit easier to get to stuff after. You don't want your clip tight on the floor, because then if you ever got to adjust anything, it just makes it hard work, I find. So they're going to run along there, and as I say, I'm going to set the blender and everything up just there. Hopefully that should be out of the way of the legs and everything. I'll just get these cut off somewhere there. There should be fine. Surprising how quick copper goes tarnished. So I fitted them like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. It's already gone brown. So this is a blending valve or thermostatic mixing valve. This is obviously all RAS approved, this one. I think most of them are, to be fair. So what this does, it controls the temperature of the water to whatever outlet you want. So on baths, you need a maximum, and off the top of my head, I think it's 43 degrees. I think on the spec this one says 41 for this property. So all baths, new builds, material change of use, so from like a barn conversion to a house, has to have a thermostatically controlled tap or a blender on the bath. It's just obviously to prevent the risk of scalding. So that's all it is. So you've got hot in, which will be 60 degrees off the cylinder. You've got cold in, which is obviously normal cold water, and then you've got mixed out, which is obviously you can adjust on the top there. So what we need to do is, obviously when we get the hot water and everything on, we can adjust the temperature. So this one will go from 30 to 50, so we need to set it to 41. So all we'll do is we'll put 2 isolation valves in this pipework for the blender, and then we'll take our hot in off our hot pipe, cold in off the cold, and then mixed out, which will go to the hot on the bath, and that's all it does, control the temperature. There's also, there are obviously valves, there is strainers and non-return valves in there as well. So they'll just go on there, and then it's just off the top, so they're dead easy. A completely random thing has just happened to me. I've been working away fitting this bath, you know, what I've been cracking on with. I'll probably make this the intro to the video, so you'll see this later in the video. I've heard a noise downstairs. Obviously I'm here on my own. There was supposed to be a BT guy coming at some point, so I thought, oh, maybe it's him. And there's literally 2 guys pulled up onto the driveway. They've obviously come into the house, unlocked the garage, which is down there, behind my van. They've got an Ivan Williams trailer, and they're loading, like, garden. There was loads of ornaments and that in the garden. Obviously, we put them all in the garage because they were fairly good. And he said, oh, he used to live here and he's come to get his garden stuff. I was like, you can't just come on somebody's property, unlock a garage, and help yourself to all the stuff. I had no idea he was coming. Obviously, this place has been empty over a year. He could have come back any time between the house being sold and now, and he's literally come in, unlocked the garage. Him and his mate were loading stuff out the garage onto his Ivan Williams trailer. So I've literally, he never came in and said anything. He's obviously taken the key out the front door, because I've left it in the door, unlocked the garage. It's like completely shook me up. It was like, I had no idea who he was. Obviously, I don't even know if that's who he says he is or whatever, but yeah, he's just literally, I told him to basically go and do one. I literally ran down there because they were about to drive off. As soon as I come, they've literally jumped in the car and gone. I've stood in front of the car and said, what the hell are you doing? Do you know what I mean? I was like, who the hell are you? But yeah, just completely random things that happen in your day. And it does shake you up, because obviously he's come into the house. Obviously I've been making a bit of noise, drilling and banging and stuff. And like, he's not said anything. If he'd just come and introduced himself, it would have been a little bit different. But you literally cannot come back onto your property after a year or however long and help yourself out the garage. He's obviously been round at the weekend or something and realised, had a look through the garage window and realised it's all in there, and he's just waited for his opportunity. But yeah, it's just completely random stuff. So like, I've stopped half the stuff being nicked out of the garage now. Obviously I've locked the front door now as well. So, but yeah, I can't believe it. Like, the cheek of some people. But yeah, I'll crack on with what I was doing, but now it's like put my head in a bit of a spin, because I initially thought they were breaking into my van, you see. But yeah, you just don't expect that, do you? Right, I've just put some isolators before the blender. I want to keep this blender as close, well, I always try and keep them as close to the appliance as possible, because in theory, anything past the blender could contain Legionella, so it should be flushed, well, depending on the Legionella policy, probably every 6 months. Sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's longer. So I'm going to mount this just literally under the bath, right near the taps, but on the front so you can still get to it. Always trying to think about the next person coming along, because you don't want to make it hard work for them. So them stubs off my shower, they'll be on the thermostat for the shower anyway, so they don't need to be blended. So my blender is just going to sit here. So on this, I'm going to swing them cold straight in. Obviously, not an olive. Try not to get any jet blue inside your pipe, because it will literally just block your filter. We always end up having to clean them out anyway, but you see in there it's quite a really fine mesh. That goes on there, like that, and you just nip that up. rubber washer, and then into the blender. So that's all set up, ready to rock and roll. You've got to be careful when you're soldering, don't solder too close to things. I soldered all that out of position. But that's the blender, obviously you can get to the cap to adjust it and everything. So literally hot will go across, connect on. I'm not using flexes, I'll do that all in high pipe. And then the cold is where I made my mistake, that will just go up and feed onto the bathtub. So I'm a little bit stuck now until I get some stuff. I'll have a look. I can't really set that one up yet just because I need the walls and stuff built. But there's one or two bits to finish downstairs, and then just waiting for the BT guys really. They were supposed to be here between 8 and 2, but I waited here 2 weeks ago and they never turned up because they went to the wrong address, but I'm not optimistic they're going to turn up. So when it gets to 2 o'clock, I can always go to another job anyway. But yeah, just cracking on best I can. Right, we've just got to put the feet on this bath. Obviously they send you the screws, but sometimes they are hard to get into. What I generally do is just put a little pilot on. Obviously don't go all the way through because you'll be going into the bottom of the bath, but it's literally something just to get the screws started. It makes it so much easier. And obviously you want to use the screws that they send, otherwise you'll be into the bottom of the bath. So we just do this, get all the legs on. Then what I like to do is get a batten across the wall, but then we need to get the shower pipes chopped in as well. So we'll do all this, get the legs on, we'll sit the bath in position. One thing I have noticed, I'm going to have to bend that pipe out of the way because I thought the waste was going to come there. It's not the end of the world. We've got a pipe bender, we can shift that. It's not the end of the world, as I say. So we'll get the legs on, get a batten on, and then we'll have a look at getting the pipework set up. So you can see I made a little bit of a mistake there. It's not the end of the world. All I'll do is set this pipe back in and then kick it back round. I'll get the waste kit on, but I'll never get the trap on at that. So we'll sort that, it's not the end of the world. What I'm going to do is mark the centre of that, work out where my taps are going. Obviously I'll measure in the centre of here, get my taps, work that out, and then we can get the shower and everything set up. And then what I'll do is measure the height of the bath panel, and then we'll get a batten on the wall all the way around so the bath is nice and solid. And then we can look at getting it piped up then. But other than that, slight mistake, it's not too bad. This is where these always trip me up on these P-shaped taps. Do you put the tap in the middle of the opening, because it's 690 across, or do you put it in the middle of that? I always go in the middle of between there and there, and then when you put the shower on, it looks centre. When you get the screen and everything in, it looks right then. But do you know what I mean? It's something that's always going to look odd. Because that rail's thicker than obviously that one, so it doesn't end up being in the middle. But what I'll do is, I think I'm just going to do it like that. I think that's going to look best, and then we'll just work our centre of the shower out from that point there. Some of these showers, you've got to be careful, but the ones we've got haven't got a fixed head, so literally it's just a bar shower with a hose coming off it, so we don't have to be as careful. But some of the ones with the head that shoots off the top, you've got to be careful on your ceiling height. Other than that, we should be good. So all I'm going to do is get them chopped in quickly, then we can get a batten on, then I'll level the bath up, and then we'll just sort all the pipework out then. I'm just making some tails up to go behind the wall. These are going to poke out for the shower. What I need to do is obviously get these soldered up, and then we can get all these taped up and protected. So I need to still elbow at the bottom, and then we'll get all these clipped in. So it's all the bits that you don't see take all the time. It's surprising where the day goes. Having to do the chasing and try not to melt my drill. Having to do chasings and cleaning up and fixings and everything. It takes time. But we'll get these two bits done. The most important bit, we'll get all these pipes protected up where they're in the wall. All I'm using is black duct tape. And you can use anything really, it's just literally to stop the copper reacting with the brickwork or the plasterwork. So make sure that's protected all the way around the pipe, and then we can get them clipped in. Obviously, if this was a gas pipe, you need to test the pipe before you tape it. But being a water pipe, you don't have to. But you know if that's going to leak. In theory, the pipe could have a pin on it, and obviously the tape could seal a gas leak. It ain't going to seal a water leak. So that all taped up all the way around on both pipes, and then we can get them clipped in. So we need these pipes dead level and clipped in at 150 centres. So that just needs to go up a touch. And then what I do is just clip it in, double check it's level, and then we'll pop a few more tacks on. In this side. But you just need to make sure they're behind the wall as well. So we can flush that wall off, but I think the mermaid board will cover that anyway. But if you don't get this bit right, obviously excuse fingers, obviously your shower is not going to be level. So it's quite critical. You spend a few minutes just getting that all clipped up nicely. Obviously they're all taped and protected. They should be fine. Right, it's all starting to come together now. My next job is to get a batten on this wall. So bath panel height is 520, but obviously we need to allow for the thickness of the flooring. Ideally with them P-shaped bath panels, you don't want to cut them down because it takes all the strength out of it. So what we've got is obviously hot into the shower, cold into the shower, before the blender, and then these tails will just swing around. I'll take that up behind, all in rigid copper, and then onto my tap connections. And like that one, blended off, across, and then up. We'll do that all in rigid, we won't use flexes. And then my waste, I've cleared that now, so enough room for a trap, I have measured it. Waste kit trap, and then that will just go along onto that waste pipe there, so that'll be perfect. Everything's nice and easy to get to, or as easy as it can be under a bath. We should be fine. So I just need to measure the thickness of the lip, get a batten fixed on, level all the way around. I lift the legs up then, and then I literally just drop it onto the batten and then lower it down, and that should in theory be level. But yeah, that's how I do mine. It just gives it proper support then. This one's not too bad, that bath's quite thick, but some of the real thin ones, you can nearly see through them on some of them. What is that on the bath? Oh, it's just a shadow, you've got to be careful. Some of the real thin ones, horrible, but especially with this having a shower over it, obviously you're going to have a fair bit of standing weight, if that makes sense. It can rock, so you really want a proper rail around the wall. Right, all I've done is just drop that bath onto the baton. Haven't levelled anything up. I just wanted to double check I can get this trap on. I haven't actually picked up a waste kit because I don't know what they want, whether they want plug and chain, but we have got plenty of space to get that in, so it won't be an issue at all. You can see through there. That's a polypipe deep seal trap. The polypipe one's a few extra quid, but to be honest with you, some of the cheap ones you end up cross-threading, the threads jump, so I just use the polypipe ones, a lot less aggro. My next job is going to be get the bath taps marked out, get them drilled, and all we'll do is we'll put some pull bends on some 22 pipe, pull the hot across, pull the cold across, bring them into this area here, and we'll just get them piped in there, dead easy. And then if you ever need to work on anything, it should be all accessible. We've got valves, you know, the trap and everything will be nice and easy to get to. Waste pipe won't be a problem, we'll just pipe that bit in after. But yeah, we are sort of getting there. Putting the batten on, I still need to put the rail across there, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't foul my taps. So I generally do that last, because sometimes you end up having to put a slot in it. But yeah, and then we'll get everything sealed in, and that should be absolutely solid and fine. And they're all nicely set, ready to go. Always makes me laugh, these instructions. It says, I don't know if you can read, but it says local water authority regulations require that isolation valves are fitted in the pipework beneath the tap. Nowhere in the water regs does it say you need isolation valves, so I can absolutely tell you that. Only on float operated valves. That is not a float operated valve, so either they don't know, they don't read, or they don't care. But it's obviously good practice, but it's not actually a water regulation, so you obviously need to do a little bit more research. But yeah, it's good practice, not a regulation. You don't have to do it, you won't be prosecuted for it, you won't be picked up on an inspection. So manufacturer instructions, you're wrong. I always use that hole saw, no idea what size it is because it's about wore out, but it's good enough for drilling baths. One down, don't give you enough wiggle. We'd like a little bit of wiggle when coming. So that's what I'm going to do. Literally, I've marked them out. I've just measured square off the wall, square off the front of the bath. We'll get them drilled, tightened in. I might pull the bath out, makes it a little bit easier. And that's it really. Nothing to be too careful about. It's only a fiberglass bath, so as long as you're careful, you'll be fine. You're not going to damage it. That's it, sorted. They literally take no drilling. It's only, as I say, it's only fiberglass. Now if it was like an old cast iron one or something, I know in the past people have drilled them out. They're a little bit difficult, but that'll be fine. We'll just clean that up. I do actually need to fetch my long level up, but I'm just literally just position the bath in. I just wanted to double check with the bath panel to make sure we got clearance. So I think we'll be fine there. Obviously the floor's not perfect level, but what we've got is I've left room for like a thin ply and then a vinyl floor. That's what's going on the floor anyway. So ideally I don't want to cut the bath panel, but if I have to, I have to. All I'm going to do next is finish my batten across the back, hot and cold to the front as I've already said, and then we'll get everything sealed in. What I'll do is we're going to bead the silicone on top of the batten, and then with silicone on top of the bath as well. And then when the mermaid board goes on, then we put another seal on. So it'll be absolutely solid when it's done. So all I've done with that, soldered a M-feed tap connector onto that piece of 22. It might be a little bit warm yet, but some people don't like the fibre washers. I'm not that bothered by them, to be honest with you. But what I always do is jet blue over the top. Obviously years ago, they never used to have like the rubber tap connection washers, and I find the fibre ones actually fit better. But what I'll do is fill that with jet blue, and then it's a little bit warm, so because I've only just soldered that. Try not to get any inside the pipe, and then we can literally, you guys probably can't see a thing. I always do my hot first, it just makes sense because it's the furthest one away. That'll go across there, tighten out with the jaw dropper, it's a little bit warm, and then we can connect that onto the outlet of the blender. Don't know, I'm going to leave that a second because it's warm. And that's got that bath all in. It's absolutely solid as a rock, that one. You can see me swinging on it. It's because I've obviously got the batten, it's sealed all the way back to the wall, sealed on top, and it should be absolutely perfect. All on copper tails, blender's nice and easy to get to. So yeah, this will be perfect. The second fix will be a doddle. All we've got to do is obviously cut these pipes back once it's mermaid boarded, and basically tighten the connections up, screw the things back. It should be really easy. So yeah, that's sort of a big chunk the project done. I can't do that one yet because I've still got the wall to build, all the floor to repair, but at least this one's in. Absolutely solid. I don't think they'll move that. The only thing they might do is smash it up, but nothing I can do about that. I've just got the waste kit to do, I haven't got, but again, that's not going to be a major problem. Next job is going to be to tidy up in here, and then we're going to move downstairs. We'll have a look if we can get the shower tray in, and that's sort of a good day's work then, really. Right, I want to get this shower tray bedded in today before I get home. Before I go home, I should say. It's been a long day. I need to get all this swept out. Have a look at the waste, where that's going to go. Obviously, we'll check to make sure there's no damage on the shower tray first. And then it should literally be a case of mixing some sand and cement up, bedding that in. Obviously, we've got that waste set up there, down there. So, I'm hoping, I need to stop saying the word hopefully, but that should be about right. That'll go down the picture. I can break a little bit more of this out anyway. I've not glued that up obviously yet, just because I don't know exactly where it's going to come on the shower tray, so we can always put that back there and put it on there where we need to go. So I'll have a sweep out, we'll do a dry fit, and we'll go from there. I've only got 12.5 minutes left on my GoPro on the SD card, so we'll try and make this bit brief. So this is just a trial fit, just to check size, so it is low on the back. Doesn't matter anyway because we are sand and cementing it. It's got a bit of a rock on Tommy. It's fairly level. I mean, it's fairly level. It is low on that back corner, but what more I was looking at was the weight. So I'll get that out of the packet, and then we'll see if we can get this sort of set up. They are building this wall out as well to come in line with the shower tray, so then pipes will be fine. I'm just going to cut the waste pipe off back a little bit because I think it's going to pay dividends. I can always join it with a socket anyway. So I'm just going to cut back. That waste will sit under there, no problem, that will go down. I just need to make sure it's got a fall across. I've got plenty of fall. In fact, we've probably got too much fall going that way, so I might need to rake a little bit out. See, we've got an inch in the length of that level, so we can rake a little bit more out of that and make that in. But at least we know that trap's going to sit fine. Obviously, I've got to make the washers, and when we've got some sand and cement under it, we'll lift it up a touch as well. But I don't know, that'll nearly go, won't it, with a socket? I don't know. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Do it like that with a Right, I'm going to do it like that with a 45 there, and then we're just going to come out that tray with a 45. It's just going to work so much better. It's because I'm trying to break the angle a little bit, and I can spin that fit in just to break that, because that's not quite on 45 degrees. So I'll probably make all this shower waste in first, then we'll literally drop the whole lot in position and just glue this one up last, and that'll be perfect. So I'll get all the polythene off the edge of the tray around the waste, get some sand and cement mixed up, and we should be golden. Get this one done. But when you do these shower wastes, obviously peel your wrapper off first, because you won't get a seal. But what I always do is I always put mine in the silicone, but I don't use the top washer. Let's get that off out of the way. If you use the top washer underneath that bit, it's always going to lip. It's always going to make a lip. So it will lift it up a couple of mil, which looks horrible. So I always just silicone around there. Try not to get any in your threads, because it will make it hard work. Just to be the silicone. Pop that into your thing. Try and get it as central as possible. And then, which washer is it? It is probably that one. I think they're both the same actually. That one's thicker, so we use that one. That washer's thicker. So all I do is then only go one side of this washer there. If you put it both sides, it will slip out. So I go on the top, all the way around. Just to breeze. Just to be the silicone. And we'll tighten that in. If you put silicone both sides of the washer, it tends to slip out. So we'll get that tightened in. Obviously keep your waste as central as possible. It does get a little bit messy with the silicone, but it is the best thing for the job. Sometimes they send you a tool for putting them in, but I don't think this one's come with one. But you can tighten them up after anyway. Obviously the bit underneath you can't, but the actual bit through the tray you can. So just wipe off the excess silicone before it dries. And just make sure it is central and nice and tight. I don't know if you saw any of that, but just clean off the excess silicone, which that'll be perfect, and that should never leak. And obviously you've got your comb bit that goes in there yet, but we'll keep that off till last, because obviously that's just going to get scratched. So we'll pop that out of the way. That's ready. All I've got to do is pull the rest of the edging off, and we can mix some sand and cement up and get it threaded in. Alright, I've mixed up some sand and cement. I've got a nice even bed. It is built up slightly in that corner, so I'm just going to drop this tray in and we can get the waste connected up then. Get level on this. Looks like there now. His eye. Still in that corner. That tray is absolutely perfect now. So once it's completely dry, I want to bead the silicone around the outside again. The mermaid board will come down and then we'll seal again. So they're building this out, as I've already said. So I've just got to get this waste connected in. I can go home then. So I'll just do that bit quickly. So I might actually struggle for a little bit of movement on this, but we'll see if we can get this in. Let me see about 110. 110 mil. so you can actually see what's going on. I'll get it. Yeah, I think I'll get that. So, not an olive. Oh, they don't fit solvent. Brilliant. So just, I don't know why they make the traps like that. I do not honestly know why they do that. They just like making life hard for the plumbers, don't they? It's only the slip ring. The actual washer fits, but that don't fit solvent pipe. That'll only fit push fit, but it'll be fine. Make sure that's nice and tight. And then we just got to get that in there. Plenty of glue. Plenty of glue. And glue the fitting as well. Plenty of glue in there. That should be fine. We'll obviously test that before we're done and make the floor good. I will screed that last bit in as well. I'm trying to find my level. Can't find it. So yeah, I've got stacks of fallout there. That'd be really good. So that will not cause a problem. But yeah, I'm going to end the video there. I think this one's quite long, but I'll edit it all down so you'll only see bits of it, because I've only literally got 2 minutes left on my GoPro, I think it's saying. So we'll see you in the next. The next job's going to be the boiler and everything, boiler and cylinder. So I'm back here tomorrow, but the video will be out later in the week, I think. So as always, thank you for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. And we'll see you all next time.